One Question is designed to give subscribers valuable insights on how executive leaders in college athletics think about key issues on their respective campuses, in their departments, or within their leagues and conferences.
Greetings, this is Ty Brown and welcome to One Question. I'm here at the 2018 AFCA Convention and I'm joined by Coach Paul Winters. Coach Winters is the head coach at Wayne State University. Greetings, Coach. Thanks for joining us today.
It's my pleasure.
Now, Coach, you've been the head coach there for 14 seasons and you've been in the coaching profession for a little over 30 years coaching football. And as we all know, on a lot of campuses, football is the revenue generator. It's the breadwinner of the athletics department. You being there in Detroit, how have you been able to, knowing that you're the breadwinner, still be able to not be selfish and hog the resources and balance out what's best for the athletics department beyond just what's best for you and the football program there at Wayne State?
Right. I think at Wayne State, we look at things through the eyes of the university as opposed to through the eyes of ourself. So when we're out raising money or when the money comes in, my thought isn't, okay, how am I going to use this all? My thought is, how is this going to help us as a program develop? We've got an incredible swimming program, has won national championships, usually finishes in the top 5 every year. We've got a fencing program that is a Division I fencing program that's outstanding. We've got a great basketball program led by David Greer. You know, it's just a fantastic program. So it's not just about football. I think my job is to be the face of the football program and be someone that, if you're looking at the football program, you're looking at a guy who's honest, who's trustworthy, who carries himself with class and doesn't take shortcuts. And I think if I'm doing that, then I'm representing the program, I'm representing the athletic department, I'm representing the university the way I'm supposed to. If I were to take shortcuts, if I were to not be someone that people would hopefully look up to, then it didn't matter how much money I made for the program. I wouldn't, we wouldn't excel.
And how does that work? For example, and you tell me if this is how it works at Wayne State. If the AD knows that there might be a donor or somebody who wants to give money and they want to talk to you, and the AD's like, well, there is this thing we need to do for swim or this thing we do for fencing, would they bring you in to sit down and talk about some of the grander things you want to do on campus beyond
Yeah,
this?
you know what? He uses me however he needs to use me, Yeah. I serve at the pleasure of the athletic director. So, for example, we have a gentleman who is basically he was the agent for some of the Detroit Tigers of the 70s and 80s, guys that are going into the Hall of Fame. So he's made a lot of money for a lot of people, and he's giving a lot of money to Wayne State. So we had an event where we sat down with him and some of the other sports, and basically we talked about what we're trying to accomplish and how his benefit, how he can benefit our programs. And my job and what we're able to do is establish a really good relationship with him, and something to where he feels very comfortable. And anytime there's someone that we feel has an inkling to help us, or if we feel that he or she really has a love for football, hey, you know what? You need to spend some time with that person and make them feel comfortable. And the great thing about that for me is I like talking about my program. I like talking about my kids. I like talking about the success we have. So when somebody says they're interested, that's a positive. That's not, you know what I mean? It's not, you don't look at it as a negative when you got to go out and do that stuff. And if we haven't really had cross sports, I mean, we had a women's basketball person that had made a lot of money in his life, and he was at one of our events, and I was able to go talk to him a little bit about his granddaughter who was going to go to school there. And it was a nice little thing to do, but it's not hard.
Yeah, right.
You're still talking about Wayne State. You're still talking about what benefits there are for young men and women. And since you do that every day in recruiting, it's an easy thing to do.
Well, I know you're an ambassador there for Wayne State, which by nature of location, right in the middle of Detroit, makes you an ambassador for Detroit. How do you and your guys, your players, your staff, how do you make sure that you guys are being influential in Detroit, which in the community, which has been through the ups and downs over the last 20 years?
Yes, it has. It has. You know, one thing that happens, again, you talk about the athletic director. Our athletic department, our student athletes, I think over the past year gave 17,000 hours of community service. It includes feeding the homeless, making what we call, I forget if we call them do bags or we changed it, but we basically put together bags for the people in Kaz Corridor, where it had washcloths, socks, toothbrushes, toothpaste, just things everyday things that people don't think about that they need, and we're out there delivering them. We're out at some of the shelters, feeding people. One of the things that I'm most proud of from a football perspective that we do every year, we have a football camp for the kids, and it's a chance for them to come in and for us to coach them, for us to spend time talking about things other than football, for our players to spend time coaching them and also giving them something to look up to. And we do that, and it's a free of charge event. We do it every summer. The biggest issue we have is having the USA football and the PAL, who are trying to recruit each other's players, to back off and let us do it, because everybody gets territorial. But for us, we don't care where the kids go to play. We just want them to play. We're trying to promote the game. And we do that with those kids, and we've had as many as 700 at an event. And my coaches volunteer their time. Our players volunteer their time. We get some of the NFL athletes from the area that come and volunteer their time. And the ones who get the benefit out of it the most are the kids and their families. But we get a benefit out of it because, we get more people who experience football. So we get excited about that.
It's got to be, you're in a unique situation there because you are the football team that is in the college football team that is in the city. And of course, you got Michigan State, Michigan Central, Eastern, Western, North. You got schools all over the state, but in terms of being in the city of Detroit, you guys are pretty much an influential position to make sure everybody knows we're here and we actually support the community. I think that's it.
And when you do that, you better make sure that your players aren't getting arrested and doing those things that bring bad publicity to your program. And we've been very fortunate that we've had our guys do the right thing. And one of the things we're proud of, we just got our grades back from fall semester. We had a 3.02 GPA in our team. So, we're going to brag about that.
Yeah, exactly, actually. Well, Coach, all that is a testament to the leadership of the program, and I think they are very lucky to have you there. I guess you're going into your 15th season now, yes, coming up. I'm very lucky to have you there for so long, to be a shining light of consistency, leadership, and values there.
I appreciate it.
At Wayne State. Well, Coach, I can't thank you enough for being here on the One Question podcast with me. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Yes, sir. That was Paul Winters. He is the head coach at Wayne State University in Detroit. And this is Ty Brown with One Question. And keep in mind, the role of a leader is to create and maintain an environment that people want to be a part of. And as always, be better tomorrow than you are today. This episode of One Question is produced by Spades Media Group, solving problems using creative leadership.